You're not tired, you're not lazy, you're mentally exhausted from thinking too much. You replay the same conversations. You rehearse future disasters that never happen. You try to predict every outcome, every response, every possibility. And in the end, you don't act. You just sit there, stuck. Overthinking is your enemy. How much of your life have you spent trapped in your own head? Not living, not moving forward, just thinking again and again and again. There's a difference between thinking and overthinking. Thinking leads to action. Overthinking leads to nothing. Thinking is useful. It's preparation. It's planning. It's evaluating. But overthinking? Overthinking is fear in disguise. It's the fear of being wrong, the fear of failing, the fear of being judged. It's the fear of not being perfect. So we wait, we analyze, we delay. Especially after 40, overthinking becomes a habit, not a strategy. You overanalyze your past. You stress over what you should have done. You regret things you can't change. You try to figure everything out before taking the next step. But here's the truth. You can't think your way into a perfect life. You can only live your way into one. Overthinking is how dreams die quietly. It's how ideas fade. It's how passion turns into frustration. And slowly you convince yourself that it's too late, that you missed your moment, that you waited too long. But you didn't miss it. You're just still sitting on the sidelines because you're scared. And fear wears a disguise called thinking. So let's break this down. Why do we overthink? Because we want to be in control. Because we were taught to be careful. Because we don't want to feel regret. But overthinking doesn't protect you from regret. It guarantees it. Every time you don't apply, every time you don't speak up, every time you don't try, you lose something. Time, confidence, opportunities, and eventually, belief in yourself. You know what's worse than failing? Wondering what would have happened if you tried. Overthinking gives you nothing but missed moments. Relationships you never started, businesses you never launched, journeys you never took. Because you needed more time, more certainty, more signs. But time doesn't wait. And life won't slow down so you can overanalyze it. The hard truth is this. You will never feel 100% ready. You will never have all the answers. And the perfect time? It doesn't exist. There's only now, and what you do with it. So how do you escape the overthinking trap? Start by making faster decisions. Set a time limit. Give yourself 10 minutes or 24 hours. But decide. Because indecision is still a decision. It's a decision to stay stuck. Write it all down. Empty your mind onto paper. Clear the clutter. When thoughts are swirling, clarity comes through expression, not more thinking. Take one small action, not the perfect action, not the guaranteed one, just the next one. Progress kills fear. Movement defeats doubt. Give yourself permission to be wrong. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to learn, willing to adjust, willing to try. You know what keeps most people from starting? They don't want to look foolish. But looking foolish for a moment is better than being stuck for a lifetime. Let's be honest. Most of what you fear won't happen. Most of what you worry about doesn't matter. Most of what's holding you back is only happening in your mind. And that's the point. Overthinking doesn't reflect reality. It distorts it. It magnifies problems. It drowns possibilities. It kills confidence. So stop believing everything you think. Not every thought is a fact. Not every fear is real. When you stop feeding your fears, they starve. When you stop waiting for certainty, courage takes over. The mind is a tool, not a cage. Use it wisely. You don't need more time. You need more action. You don't need more thinking. You need more doing. Because clarity doesn't come from thought. It comes from experience, from movement, from living. So here's your reminder. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're not too old. You're just overthinking. And that can change today. You owe it to yourself to find out what happens when you stop hesitating. You owe it to your future to stop drowning in your own mind. Let the thoughts go. Feel the fear. And move anyway. Even if your hands shake, even if your voice trembles, even if your mind screams, "What if?" Move anyway. Because action is your freedom. And overthinking is your enemy. If this message hit home, you're not alone. We built GrayOwl for people just like you, people who've lived, learned, and are ready to live even better. If you're ready to stop overthinking and start living, subscribe to GrayOwl. Your comeback story begins now.